A shoot will grow out of Jesse's rootstock. A bud will sprout from his roots. The Lord's Spirit will rest on him, a spirit that gives extraordinary wisdom, a spirit that provides the ability to execute plans, a spirit that produces absolute loyalty to the Lord. He will take delight in obeying the Lord. He will not judge by mere appearance or make decisions on the basis of hearsay. He will treat the poor fairly and make right decisions for the downtrodden of the earth. He will strike the earth with the rod of his mouth and order the wicked to be executed. Justice will be like a belt around his waist. Integrity will be like a belt around his hips. A wolf will reside with the lamb, and the leopard will lie down with the young goat. An ox and a young lion will graze together. A small child leads them along. A cow and a bear will graze together. Their young will lie down together. A lion, like an ox, will eat straw. A baby will play over the hole of a snake. Even the nest of a serpent an infant will put his hand. They will no longer injure or destroy on my entire royal mountain, for there will be universal submission to the Lord's sovereignty, just as the waters completely cover the sea. At that time, a root from Jesse will stand like a signal flag for the nations. Nations will look at him for guidance, and his residence will be majestic. At that time, the Lord will again lift his hand to reclaim the remnant of his people from Assyria, Egypt, Pathros, Cush, Elam, Shinar, Hamath, and the sea coast. They will lift a signal flare for the nations. He will gather Israel's dispersed people and assemble Judah's scattered people from the four corners of the earth. Ephraim's jealousy will end and Judah's hostility will be eliminated. Ephraim will no longer be jealous of Judah, and Judah will no longer be hostile towards Ephraim. They will swoop down on the Philistine hills to the west. They will loot the people of the east. Together they will loot the people of the east. They will take over Edom and Moab, and the Ammonites will be their subjects. The Lord will divide the gulf of the Egyptian sea. He will wave his hand over the Euphrates River and send a strong wind. He will turn it into 7 dried-up streams and enable them to walk across in their sandals. There will be a highway leading to Assyria, to the remnant of his people, just as there was for Israel when they went up from the land of Egypt. Okay, so we're still not done. We're here in the middle of another section, but we get a chapter break stopping us in the middle of it here. Yeah, it feels better. I like this one better. You can wear blue jeans with that hat. Yeah, I can wear blue jeans with this hat. I can wear blue jeans with all my hats, and in fact, I am. I am wearing blue jeans. All right, so, hey, Temple Snail. Oh no, total societal collapse. It's the time of that year again. Well, we're in Isaiah. So, yes, Isaiah is going through destruction, and I hope you've been well, Temple Snail. I haven't seen you around. I hope this year you are doing well, my friend. So a shoot will grow up of Jesse's rootstock. A bud will sprout. So I'm not sure if we are to still be thinking of the remnant is the child that was spoken about, or if we are post that. It's not entirely clear. It could be a one or the other, or it could be both together. I mean, we want to run to Jesus. Resist the temptation to just jump to Jesus and ignore that the message of Isaiah was given to King Ahaz and the people of the time because they needed to know that this was coming against them. And that's where we need to start our discussion with. You're doing great, working on an exciting project and got a new baby. Super cool. That's fun. How long ago? Excited, man. She's 2 months old. Aww. Super cool. Okay, so we have the shoot will come from the rootstock of Jesse. Notice it's not David. It's not David. We go back further, okay? So we're going to go to the rootstock of Jesse, where it's going to come from. So, Jesse is the father of kings. Okay, Jesse's not the king. Jesse is the father of kings. We can go back to Abraham is not a king, but kings will come from his line. So we're doing the same thing with Jesse here. We're going back. So the line of David is cut off, but a shoot is going to come from the rootstock of Jesse. So even if the line is cut off, it's not cut off. It can spring forth. A bud will sprout from his roots. The Lord's Spirit will rest on him, and he is going to be extraordinary wise. He's going to execute plans. He's going to have absolutely loyalty to God. He's going to be delightful, be obedient to God. He will not judge by appearances. He will not make decisions based on hearsay. He's going to treat the poor fairly. So and make decisions for the downtrodden in the earth. He will strike the earth with the rod of his mouth. So the things that he says, he is going to execute the wicked. His order will execute judgment. So there is going to come a king who is going to rise up and put things right so the poor, the widow, and the orphan do not have distress in their life. Doesn't mention the foreigner. We didn't have the foreigner earlier. He's treating the poor the way it should. Justice is going to come. It's going to be a belt around him. Integrity is going to be a belt around his hip. So how do we talk about a king who is so just and so fair? We are going to talk about it in terms. So this is not, hey, we have to go look for the literal things that are now being described. This is in grandiose language describing the peacefulness and the tranquility of the established kingdom that is to come. When this king comes and brings restoration. The wolf will lie down with the lamb. The leopard will lie down with the goat. The ox and the young. So we're going to keep giving these metaphors of enemies. Enemy here and an enemy there are going to be together. An enemy here and an enemy there are going to be together. And they're going to be led by a small child who would fear all of those things naturally. And we have a cow and a bear, enemies. We have their young will lie down together. An ox will eat straw. A lion will eat straw. We're not looking for this literally to happen, okay? This is describing the peace that is going to be upon the kingdom, that this king is going to reign, this is the likeliest way to describe it. A baby will play over the hole of a snake and over the nest of the serpent. The infant will put its hand in, even the one of the adder, the serpent that would strike. No, it's just not going to be injury any longer on my entire royal mountain. It'll be universal submission to God. So if there's universal submission to God, there is going to be waters completely covering the earth of sovereignty. Just like that, the kingdom is going to cover everything. This is totally talking in total submission to God language, in total peace language, in total justice language. That's at that time, the root of Jesse will stand as a signal flare to the nations. The nations will look at him for guidance. So again, we're talking in grandiose language here. Of all of the nations are going to turn to this ruler, and all of the remnant that has been carried away by any of the people who have taken away people are going to return. He's going to be a signal flare to the nations, to gather Israel's dispersed people, to assemble Judah's scattered people. Ephraim's jealousy, when this happens, when they return, when the remnants return, there's going to be no hostility between the northern and southern kingdom. There will be no longer hostility. They're not going to swoop in or, and cause problems anymore. And there's not going to be jealousy. There's not going to be provoking things. They will swoop down on the Philistines in the west. Together they will loot the people to the east. So together they're going to act as one. They will take over Edom. They're going to take over the Ammonites. So all of the nations who did injustice to you, you will take them. And even those that are beyond the Euphrates are going to dry up like 7 dried streams. They're going to be totally dried up from all that is going on in there. The remnant of his people, just as there was in Israel when they went up from the land. So we're going to have a return just like we had the people coming out of Egypt and God delivering them. The remnant will come back, and it's going to be in a similar fashion.